episode of Turn Left. I am your host, Indiana's own Dana Black, coming to you live. Yes, all the way live from Black Pearl Studios, where we talk about Indiana politics from the left side of things. I hope y'all having a good week, because there's a lot of crazy going on. But I'm not going to rant about it, because tonight I got two of the best in the building. And before we could even get the show started, we were already chopping it up. So I'm just going to bring my guests on. We're just going to talk about it. Y'all give it up to my guests. One of my homies, truly, both from Northeast Indiana, I'm sorry, out there in the Fort Wayne area. Y'all give it up to a recurring guest who comes all the time. Mark Gevaart of My Labor Radio, and my homie who's been rocking with me from day one, from the Snyder Report, Gary Snyder. Y'all, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
What's up?
Yo, how y'all been? How's your Happy New Year? Is it happy?
Oh yeah. Yeah. In fact, Gary was just mentioning that his wife had to go on the wagon. So that's a good sign.
Oh, I'm doing dry
I didn't
January.
say that. I did not say that.
You did not. You just said she cut back. Okay.
Well, I'm doing a dry January.
I
'cause,
quit. Done.
During the holidays, you sauce it up a little bit. So you got to give your liver a refresh.
I'm on a rest break myself from that too. The liquor store want to know when I'm coming back.
I don't drink, so I'm good.
Okay, well, that life goals maybe. I don't know. When I'm sitting on the beach, I just don't feel right unless I have a little sign with an umbrella in it.
Totally
And
understandable.
for the record, the lovely Mrs. Snyder is participating in dry January.
All right.
I love that.
Sorry, I called it a wagon.
What have y'all been up to? I mean,
Already in trouble.
guys, there's so much stuff. One of the
Yeah.
what you guys may or may not know, I focus in on Indiana. I spend most of my time talking about what's going on in Indiana. But Gary, he's out here interviewing Joe Walsh. He's doing
Right
all
on.
the big national stuff. And we know My Labor Radio is about the national stuff because labor unions all over the country. So
Right.
tonight, we're going to talk more than just about what's happening in Indiana, because I got guys that's what they do. That's what they do. So let's just start with what's happening in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
So
let's start from the beginning to look at where we were 12 months ago.
okay.
And I think that our perspective has to be the chaos that we are in and witnessing right now was created by this GOP and no one else. And then they want to come in and be the heroes and say, with military action, we're going to shut everything down. This all happened because of the team that stands next to Trump. Trump's the dog in the front yard yelling his head off. This group of people, this GOP House and Senate who follow blindly are the reason this is happening, and they're letting it happen, and they're not saying a word.
No.
And remember that.
Well, and Stephen Miller, this is his jam. Right? Democrats, are you looking for an affordable digital content creation solution? Then look no further than Black Pearl IT Solutions and Black Pearl Studios. Indiana's own Dana Black is providing many of the communication wraparound services any Democratic organization needs. No matter the size of the budget, Indiana's own and Black Pearl Studios have you covered. Just scan the QR code or visit www.blackpearl-its.com. Man, sometimes the machine does what the machine wants the machine to do. And we could be in the middle of an amazing conversation and things just blow up. So the cool thing
And then Dana's going, "Shh, you're live. You're live."
But anyway, I think maybe you were hitting too close to home about what's happening in Minneapolis, and the feds came in and clipped
shut it down. Right.
They clipped me.
Well, you want me to rephrase that in some other way? The GOP's complicit.
You know what? That's the thing. There's too many people rephrasing things.
Right.
There's not enough people telling the truth.
Yeah.
There's not enough people step into it. I'm not scared, so I'm not worried about losing my law firm.
Right.
But I mean, what's going on in Minneapolis? Gary, do you have some comments on the crazy that's happening?
Well, it's by design. I mean, it's not something that just popped up. The Trump administration has designed their agenda for this to happen on purpose. It's not just something that randomly happened. And if it's not Minneapolis, it'll be some other city. It just happened that Minneapolis is the one that is maybe fighting back a little bit, and they executed someone in their car.
Yeah.
And then called them an effing bitch.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
Right.
and what's crazy to me is I listen to people make the comparison to Nazi Germany. And yes, the Gestapo did make the raids and people were being drugged out of their homes and things of that nature. But I'm going to be honest, it reminds me of the slave patrols. It reminds me of we gonna round you up and rough you up, and then we gonna ask you. Like it's
Right.
and it's only brown people and black people that they going up. Now, granted, the white lady that got killed. The other thing about that, y'all, if you notice, a lot of black folks haven't lost their minds over the white lady. We are very, very, very sad that her life was
Right.
taken for absolutely no reason. But this the shit we've been talking about forever of law enforcement stepping in and taking lives. And before, everybody was giving a reason why a black person, no matter what crime or whatever it is they thought was happening, to justify their life being taken out. You see what I'm saying? So for us, this is like,
Right.
state sanctioned murder.
Yeah. Happened last Tuesday, the Tuesday before that.
And we're not trying to make light of it, but it's like,
Not at all. But it's a constant. If you are a black American, you understand. You already know.
yeah, this is, and what drives me crazy is when people say this ain't America. Please, when has it not been America?
It's coming home to roost again. Yes.
Yes, and it's a struggle. And so the other thing that I'm struggling with is the people. Okay, this is supposed to be a nation of consumers, right? And we're capitalists, and we want consumers. We want people to buy stuff. If you locking up the people who are buying stuff, where are the businesses? Where are the people with influence and money? Where are they? How come they ain't speaking out?
They're afraid. I mean, they're
very
afraid of
afraid.
retribution. They're afraid that Trump is going to do something that will hurt their business or make them not make more money, because to them it is all transactional. As long as the dollar is in the bank, they don't give a rat's ass about who's getting shot, who's getting killed. It only happens. They only start to care when their bottom line is being affected.
Absolutely. Let's not forget too that when pedophile protector, just those two words are shouted in Detroit, the Ford team decides we're going to suspend or fire. I don't have the details yet as to what's happening to TJ Sabullo from his comments, but he's doing very well in the GoFundMe category.
And what the UAW do? What's the union do for a worker?
They're back.
Hell no, you're not touching him.
Right. Exactly.
But how childish was it for the orange menace to flip him off? Like,
there he is. That's every American worker. That's not just a union worker. That's every American worker. He told him that because he wanted complete silence and compliance with whatever it is he said. And he had a bunch of executives follow along that were licking his boots. That's what they do.
Yeah. He had his tiny little hand and his tiny little finger up there.
I mean, I just don't get it. Like, and so for me as the gay, black, lesbian female in a world that is supposed to be dominated by men and men are men and y'all men in the base and they some punk asses.
Yeah, really. And so Meal Team 6, who's part of the Jan 6 team that are there, and Enrico Tario and all these guys that were tough guys, and then they got pardoned because they were breaking into the Capitol, are now, without even any background checks, being the people who are out there saying, as soon as you tie him up and put the cuffs on him, I'm going to punch him like 6 more times and really rough him up and make him bloody as we put him into the vehicle and haul him away, even though they did anything but just tell me I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
It's
And
just what,
one of the convicted J6s, the main one, isn't he like an ICE agent now?
Enrico Tario, correct. Yes, he
I've
is.
seen reports that there are quite a few. Yeah.
Yeah, not just him. Yeah, he had a bunch of underlings. The Proud Boys are in there deep. That don't think they're not.
I told my wife that's who the new ICE is. It is your Proud Boys. It is your Oath Keepers. It is your January Sixers that got their pardons. Because if that's an FBI agent that got drafted over there, that's not him kicking someone. That's not him punching someone. That's these guys that tried to kill Capitol Police. And now we're going to make them go beat up brown people and black people.
Yeah, and shoot a white lady in her face.
I mean, think about it. Think what they did on January 6th, and now they have a chance to go do that to black and brown people. Hell yeah, they're on top of that.
Yes, cash in hand and impunity. So stop.
50 grand signing bonuses for these clowns.
So let's remember, that's a flash in the pan for these fools. Their vehicles are being destroyed. They're hurting. They don't realize it, but they got cash in hand right now, so they think they're rich. That'll be over with quickly. And they're not going to understand what hit them when it finally comes down. And it's going to be, there's an answer to this. You can't just pull this and think this is the way the world will be going forward.
Unfortunately, though, J.D. Vance had a point when he said they have ultimate immunity. They won't be touched, because I guarantee you, when Trump leaves office or before, he's going to do a mass pardon of every single one of these people. So the next president, whoever that may be, can't go back and prosecute all their asses.
But see, this is a citizen government, right? Okay, so they may not go to jail. We may not as citizens get the justice that we deserve being a part of this nation. But I have a feeling a lot of them going to end up like George Zimmerman.
Thank you.
You know, where he running around here talking about my life is over. It should be, because you took that baby's life. And the thing is there's more of us than there are of them. And I'm just ready for us to like stand up. And what I'm sick and tired of people making excuses for this nonsense. But at the same time, I can't spend too much time in it, because we told you. Yeah.
You said it many times prior to this. It's not a new thing.
We told you. Kamala Harris told you, if he's elected, he's going to do this, and this.
Hillary Clinton said it too. Yes.
And here's the thing. I'm not even mad. Like, okay, look, it wasn't that Trump got more votes in 24 than he did in 16 or 2020 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It was more of us stayed home.
Yes.
We stayed home. And so by staying home, you cast your vote, and this is where you are.
Yeah.
So, you know, this thing is this. It's sad, but it was very much predictable.
And I'm looking forward to, as you might call it, the street justice when that finally comes down.
Oh yeah, I do not condone violence.
I don't either, but I think it will find its own way.
If these people find themselves in a bank looking for a mortgage, and the loan officer just goes, sorry, Tario, whatever your name is, you don't qualify.
You know, I've said this before, and I got in a little trouble, and it was a football analogy, because I'm a Colt fan. I grew up, and, you know, anytime I saw Tom Brady play, you know, I never wanted to see him get hurt. Never. I don't want to see anyone get hurt. But that time that he did get hurt and blew his knee out, I hope it hurt like hell. I don't want to see him get hurt, but if you get hurt, I hope it hurts. So I don't want to see violence against any of these people, even though they are putting violence on people. I don't want to see any of these people, when every single one of them gets fired in 3 years. I don't want people to go out and beat them up.
No.
But if they do get beat up, I hope it hurts.
I hope it hurts. I like that. I'm going to go with that. My moral compass can rock with that. So I was just listening to Native Land Pod before you guys got on to the show, and Angela Rye was talking about the EEOC sending out a message to white males to say, hey, if you've been discriminated against, I need you to come and file. I got 2 straight white guys on the show. Are y'all being discriminated against?
No, because
Horribly.
my perspective is corporate crime fighting never takes a day off. We've got a bunch of work to do. It's not me. It's the corporations that want you to think it's the people down here. For the EEOC to even take a position that white people are being treated very badly,
No,
words of the
specifically
president.
white
Correct.
men.
No.
Did they get Andy Zay to lead that up?
Ooh. Oh, I wish I would have wrote that line. Gary, that was wonderful. Thank you. I'm using that again tomorrow and the next day.
Oh my gosh. So I had to take the opportunity when I had 2 very hetero, very cool white guys on the show to find out if you are being discriminated against in a community, in a society where white males make up the majority of the CEOs, white males make up the majority of the decision makers. I want to make sure if you guys were feeling that. I have to ask. I don't know.
No, they're not going to ask me for my papers at all.
Outside of my house, no. No, I have 6 daughters and a wife. So inside my house, yes, I am very discriminated against. Outside of the house, no. I walk around, I just, an aura of white privilege around me.
It sounds like you are in a very, very fortunate home to have so much estrogen just raining down on you on a day. And science is telling us now that it's the males the male gene that determines the gender of the child.
Way to go, Gary.
So,
I had to go 6 deep to get my son, and we thought we were on a roll, and we weren't. So we had daughter number 7. So now I'm relegated to, female talk and what's the show? K-pop Demon Hunters all day.
I haven't seen it yet, and I don't know if I'm boycotting it on purpose or what the deal is. I haven't figured that out. I haven't figured that part out yet.
It was my 2-year-old granddaughter that had me turn it to him.
Right.
So she is it? K-pop Demon Hunters at 2.
Yeah. Did you enjoy it?
It's kind of catchy.
Okay.
See, sucked in. He was been sucked in.
All right, y'all. Let's go to the state.
I wouldn't admit it though. Not in public.
Not in public. Well, you just kind of did. Don't turn left. He's liking the K-pop. The Indiana Capitol Chronicle reports legislation beefing up Indiana's employment eligibility verification law no longer threatens violators with a year-long ban from public works contracts following major edits on Wednesday. Instead, the reworked Senate Bill 87 offers employers that, acting in good faith, misidentifying a worker as eligible to work or vice versa, immunity from civil liability. The legislation explicitly extends the state's existing E-Verify requirements to all public works projects, regardless of the construction delivery method. Witnesses previously complained of loopholes allowing certain construction managers to self-perform checks. Contractors would have 3 business days to prove an E-Verify number for specific employees upon the hiring. In response to concerns, prime contractors would be responsible for their subcontractors' mistakes. Rogers' amendment specifies the requirements apply to a firm's direct employees. Guys, basically this bill says if a big contracting company wins a government contract, mostly in the millions of dollars, they will not be held responsible for any undocumented workers or immigrant workers who are on these construction projects. But we just finished talking about how ICE is going door to door and raiding people out of their homes. So one of the things we know about immigration is people come here because there are jobs available to them. And one of the things that I know that the 3 of us have talked about it is you go after the undocumented worker, but you don't go after the employer. Right. Here we have Indiana writing legislation that says the employer will not be responsible for the undocumented worker that helped them earn that multi-million-dollar contract. What say y'all?
Well, from my perspective, right away, the first thing I know is that as a union guy. Let's remember that we have to jump through hoops to get a job. A lot of times they're looking the other way and saying, you know what, come on in here, you can work here. Because these businesses knowingly would sign that agreement to get that contract, that government contract, knowing they're going to do it. But when it came time to do the employment end of it, the owners of those companies, the people with the money that started that whole thing or did that whole grant process to get that bill passed to them so they can get that work, those folks aren't responsible. Oh, we didn't hire him. That's the contractor we hired over here. You got to deal with them. Now you're giving them immunity and they can have an escape route and say, oh, that person lied to us. They must have had failed documents or falsified something. We certainly don't know what that's all about. And they would not lose their contract if this bill passes. It's frustrating for me because that doesn't help the folks that are living here and working here every day that are legitimately here. And there are people of color or of Hispanic descent who were born in this country, who are not immigrants. They were born here. This is their world, but we got to employ them too. They should be employed. Now they would be up against something like this too. It's taking care of the business like we always do. When it's capitalism, it's for the consumer. But when it's socialism, it's actually for the businesses. That's what we're trying to do.
Absolutely.
So here we are again. Yes.
Gary,
way to go, state of Indiana. Yeah.
You know, it's not the brown or black Hispanic or black immigrant that's given money to these legislators. It's the business owners. And money talks in politics. And if these businesses are going to make sure they're writing big checks and paying for the governor to fly back and forth to Jasper in the state-owned helicopter, and Micah Beckwith and Diego Morales to ride around in $90,000 SUVs, they're not going to do anything to upset that apple cart. And the people that pay the price are the immigrant workers, and they're going to go raid the Home Depots. They're going to raid the job sites. They're not going to raid the corporate offices.
Absolutely not. And also these corporations, when they do this, they are pushing the salaries down, right? They're making it, you know, that's the whole purpose of right to work in Indiana has always been about the right to work for less. Correct. And when they knowingly, and look, I didn't know argument, my dog ate my homework argument, it's going to fly. Oh, well, we're going to go ahead and give you a bypass. And when they know what's going on, they know exactly what's happening. They are using these workers. And instead of hiring and making sure people who have been trained by our trades, our union trades, and have the skills to build these things, you got to pay a little more for that, right?
Just think of the power. Sorry to interrupt.
No,
a little
that's
delay,
the whole point. That's the whole point.
But just think of the power that these people hold over these immigrant workers. You know, they can treat these workers, work them from dusk to dawn. They have all of the power over these people on whether they even stay in the country. So, you know, that's one aspect I think people really, maybe they do look at, maybe they don't, but just the power they have over these individuals.
Yeah,
it's a fear factor, and we love to use that term because they're living in a fear situation. They don't know what might happen
about it.
That's correct. The worst part, I think, in this whole thing too, is we can't lose sight of the fact that they're just trying to take that whole burden of proof for anything like that and just release all employers. Same thing they want to do with any someone dies on a work site. Oh yeah, we didn't know. That's not, there's no inspection. If you think about, if you lose a finger, you lose a hand at the wrist or the arm, they have an ungodly small amounts of money that they say that they will say, oh, well, that company has to pay $1,000 because you lost your hand. A person's body is only worth like $8,500 in this state. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. If it's a workplace accident that happens, they're not here for the workers. They never have been in this state. I've only lived here 40 years, and that's what I've noticed. So it hasn't changed now, and they want to continue to give a free ride to the corporations because that's the donation factor that Gary had just talked about.
And if you are a worker and you believe that your employer is watching out for you, that they have your best interest at heart, you are sorely mistaken.
Absolutely. Every HR department is configured to protect the business. Like,
Right.
don't ever be confused.
Right.
You know, there are people that I adore who work in HR.
Oh, I do too. Yeah.
But don't ever be confused that the HR department is actually for the human.
No.
It's for the
they
resource.
welcome you. They welcome you in because they're documenting everything you did. Yeah.
But it also speaks to the fact that they're only talking about the prime.
Oh.
So the prime contractor is the one that's cleared. So if you are a subcontractor, what happens to you? Do you no longer get the opportunity to have a bid to be a sub on a prime contract for a year? Because think about it. How many small businesses out there do not have the resources to be a prime?
Right.
And
So they don't. They're waiting for that prime to follow and say, hey, here we are. Here we can provide this service.
And the prime has a Rolodex full of subs. So, well, this one, I can't use this one. I'll put them on the shelf for a year, but I can go pull another one. Like it's so bad in so many ways. But at the same time, they're not going and knocking on the doors of these prime, corporate America saying, show me your papers. They're only going into these communities to terrorize humans about their status. And Kristi Noem today, I got to go back to it. Kristi Noem today basically said we all have to show our papers and prove that we're citizens. Like, what happened to the Constitution?
Right. Doesn't exist. Ask the GOP, where's the Constitution? Yet they refuse to answer me, no matter who they are. I asked them, they're like, oh, that's a preposterous question. Really? Every day.
You be talking to the big Joe Walshes of the world. What are the former Republicans talking about over there?
Talking to Joe Walsh is he's one of the best guests I've ever talked to. I mean,
it was a good show too, Gary.
Yes,
Thank you.
it was.
We've had him on twice.
Yeah. I saw the most recent one. Right.
Yeah. And, he has said from the start that you need, with Donald Trump, the problem with Democrats is you didn't think outside the box the first time, and you're not doing it this time. Because when you don't think out of the box on what Donald Trump is going to do, he does it, and then you sit there and act shocked. I can't believe he did that. Well, no, he told you he was going to do it.
That's the part.
You didn't even have to think that far outside the box. He told you. And we still act surprised when he does it.
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why they act surprised. Like, why? Why are humans acting surprised when he says, like, we're going to invade Greenland? We're going to. He is using our military like, he is sitting on the floor in front of the fireplace with toy soldiers. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to happen.
Right. He's projecting already. What happens is they have a meeting and they let him sit in that meeting, and then he hears this stuff, and then he locks in on just that sentence, and that's what he comes out and says. And they're sitting in the back room going, oh, dang it, he said it again.
But this is the part that I don't get.
We got to do it. Yeah.
This is the part that I don't get, right? You have all these people in this room who are coming up with all of these ultimately not brilliant ideas, but they think they're brilliant because they want to have all of these resources, right? They want to have the oil in Venezuela. They want to invade Cuba. They want to do all these things. Are they not? Is this short? I mean, do they not realize how short-sighted this is? Like everything and everything this dude says publicly and all the things that they're planning behind the scenes, because like you said, he's just the puppet, is literally bringing harm to American lives
and business and economy, all those things together. You can't take all these National Guards folks out of their work environment and throw them at whatever here in the United States. But now you're asking the military, which we've already spent a lot of money on again this time around too. The military spending's blowing up right now, but that's okay because there wasn't a war. We're trying to end wars. I thought we just listened to him give a speech about how he wanted a peace prize from it. FIFA gave him one.
No, he did today. The lady that won it presented it to him at the White House, and now they're saying he won the Nobel Peace Prize.
Okay.
Nobel has a problem with that.
That's why he said he loves the poorly educated, because only an idiot would believe that bull. Because the Nobels is like, nah.
They're all, they were, when they heard rumor that was going to happen, they're like, oh, hell no, that is not flying.
But how can you be a peace guy when you're dropping bombs on people on boats in Caribbean? You
and
invade Venezuela. You talking about invade? The hypocrisy. How do you tell the people in Iran, go ahead, keep protesting? I got you. Help is on the way. But then you are literally dragging Americans through the street.
Pop, pop, pop. Right there, right in the face.
Right.
How do you square that? If you're seeing and hearing this, and I get that there are some people who read at a 6th grade level. I get that.
Yeah, they're here. Yep.
I get that only about 35% of Hoosiers have an undergrad and about 16% have advanced degrees. I get that. But how do you hear him say to the Iranian people who are rebelling, who, by the way, we don't have no way of going over there and helping them people without starting some crazy mess, but you are literally dragging Americans to the street.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Here's how they get away with it. They go out there and they say, brown people bad, white people good.
Except for the brown people.
They get away with everything then. That is their excuse, because as long as, a friend of mine asked me all the time, every time I talk to him, how does white community up in Huntington move from MAGA to vote for a Democrat? And I'm like, if anything happens, it will be economic.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But at some point they have to realize, or which one do they cherish more, their racism or their economics?
Well, I can tell you the Hoosier soybean farmer loved his racism.
Yeah, they still do.
They still do. Like, they about to lose all their stuff.
Right.
But Trump's going to get them out of it. Well, he fucking created the problem.
Well,
right.
Wait. When he was running, he said the foreign companies, and these are the things he said. Now, we knew it was crazy what he was saying, right? But he said the foreign companies are going to pay the tariffs. Now he's sending out tariff relief checks. Will you hear? I mean, do people not hear that? Do they not hear that?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they're lost to it. They didn't see it. They pretend it doesn't exist. It's just like, I'm getting a check. You didn't get your check yet? When are you getting your check?
Your tariff relief check. I need them to say it's a tariff relief check from the tariffs that somebody else was supposed to be paying. Like,
it can't happen. There's not how the system works. If you understand it, yes, but you don't understand it.
So are we doomed to idiocracy?
We're doomed to, as long as people have more animosity towards people that aren't like them versus their own well-being, then we're in trouble.
That's really it, Gary. Yeah, it is. Because they've taken that whole fear, the white folks are feared their minority status. So white males, again, the mediocre white male who's in charge in this case is worried that he's not going to be around in a while, and he knows it's at the end of the road.
And I need that distinction to be made. Mediocre white males, because brilliant and conscious, I'm going to say conscious white males are standing up and saying no. Now, there are some very wealthy ones who are like, I'm not going to get down with this. I'm going to stay out of it. But it's the mediocre, because why Pete Hegseth is in the role he's in, I don't know.
Completely mediocre.
Speaking of mediocre white men, Indiana U.S. Senator Todd Young was one of the 5 Republican senators who defied President Donald Trump and voted with Democrats last week to limit his military power in Venezuela. But on January 14th, he was one of 2 Republicans who flipped, allowing the measure to fail. The administration has given some assurances since then. Secretary of State Marco Rubio wrote Young and others a letter in which he stated that if Trump decided to bring U.S. armed forces into Venezuela for major military operations, he'll seek congressional authorization first, though he added in parentheses, circumstances permitting.
No.
We expect this kind of fealty from Jim Banks, usually delivered with, an obnoxious mouth and a performative scowl. but watching Todd Young quietly fall in line is the real tale.
Yeah.
With Josh
Mr.
Hawley.
Marine, all spine and discipline until the phone rings and there's a mean tweet.
Yeah, yeah, oh, yeah. Oh, he should. I mean, and literally, the tweet that they put out with Todd Young was nothing in comparison to some of the other tweets he's put out. Like that was
right. And I had sent a note to Marlon Stutzman here, our 3rd congressional district representative, back right when they took Maduro overnight. That day I sent him a note, and he finally on the 15th sent me a letter. And part of the thing he said in there was this action was taken squarely in the interest of protecting the American people. That's their position. Yeah. You're protecting America by taking Maduro out.
Protecting us from what?
Well, it's fentanyl again. That's what he said right in here. 72,000 Americans died from fentanyl. That was it. We got to get Maduro.
When it comes down to it, Todd Young is more afraid of a 79-year-old dementia patient and some mean posts than his voters.
But the entire GOP is. The entire GOP. Mike Braun is shaking in his boots when the phone rings. It's the White House. Oh, what do I do? They're all worried.
But you know what? I'm going to say something, and I said it last week, and I'm going to go ahead when right is right. I'm going to speak on it. I got to give it up to the House and Senate Republicans here in Indiana, because when they were being bullied and they were being doxxed for the redistricting, they stood up. So, I mean, maybe we are sending the wrong. Well, I would never send a Republican to Washington. I'll never vote for one. So that's not.
Go ahead, Jerry.
Let me ask you this, because maybe one of you two know, but there were several swatting incidents. How many people have been arrested? Because I know as soon as there was a bomb threat called into a local school, hell, it's all over Facebook on who did it. Yet we have people calling in bomb threats, swatting incidents, you name it. And we can't find one of these people. The state police, the local police, the FBI can't find one of them. Is it incompetence or maybe planned?
It's either planned or they ain't looking.
I like the ain't looking, but that's all part of the process. That's their world. They all have to fall in line too, because they too might lose some funding if they speak up. So they're just going to fall in line. They've hitched their wagon to this star. When it crashes, it's ugly.
But you make an important point.
Go egg someone's house tonight. Seriously, go throw an egg at someone's house. You're on that Ring doorbell, and Popo is at your door within an hour.
Before you can sit down.
Before you get home.
Well, now we're talking about elected officials in rural Indiana.
And we can't find one person that basically tried to kill him.
Right.
No.
Amazing.
Can't.
Amazing.
No.
You're right. It is amazing. But Todd Young, I thought Marines were hard, but maybe the older you get, the softer you get.
Ooh. What was your line, Gary? Semper Fi?
Semper Flip. That's Todd Young.
Yes, Todd Young.
Yeah.
And he went with Josh Hawley, too. Mr. Tough Guy there, Josh Hawley.
Wasn't he the one last couple of years talking about masculinity and bringing masculinity back?
Yes.
Wasn't he the one?
Yep.
Yeah. He should probably find it.
Right.
He should.
Like Mark Wayne Mullins from Oklahoma, they were all running to hide during Jan 6. And
I always love that picture of him hiding.
That's my favorite.
Him running. That was the best part. He was getting it. He was Carl Lewis across that corridor.
Right. In his dress shoes on a marble floor. Go, baby.
People, what you running for? What you running? But it just tells you how soft these pansies are, man. And I know that I'm probably using terminology that the word police are gonna come after me. The tone police, they're gonna come after me. But because see, I get offended when these hard ankle fellas who've been running around talking about what's wrong with our society is that that feminism has ruined our society, but they too chicken shit to stand up to if I was there, you wouldn't protect me.
Right.
I'd be on my own.
Right.
Thank God I ain't a damsel in distress waiting.
You should have brought your posse.
Oh my God, Todd Young, please, him and Jim Banks, both of them 5'4" too.
Right. Right. On a good day.
as I probably am more familiar with Jim Banks than most.
Yeah.
I'm probably the only one that got a cease and desist letter from him. So, it's
But didn't
it's true.
But didn't
Yeah.
Steve, what's his name, the bald head, funny looking boy, him and his wife fled the house because somebody chalked the sidewalk in front of his house?
Yeah.
What's his name? What's that? Steve? Not Steve. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Y'all know.
I'm drawing a blank.
The Miller, Stephen Miller.
Oh,
yeah, because they were writing words on the sidewalk in front of his house. So he had to go to a hotel or go to a secret location. And now he's in a protected status military base in the Virginia area now.
he had to get those knee-high black riding boots on.
With a nice hat.
Step out to the car.
In the crowd because of a children's sidewalk chalk.
Right. That's going to ruin everything. Yeah.
I mean, these dudes. All right, let's get some more stuff in here. Because
let's talk about this Senate bill with the homeless encampment.
Yes.
So let's talk about that for a second.
Okay,
that's a really bad move. Yeah. That's SB 285. And really what they want to criminalize homelessness, basically.
That's the Indy Star reports. Lawmakers have resurrected a controversial push for last legislation session to ban homeless encampments amid skepticism about the effectiveness of current efforts as homelessness in Indianapolis and across the nation continue to rise. Critics worry it could harm Marion County, diminishing Indy's effort to tackle homelessness and putting a strain on an already overcrowded jail. While Senate Bill 285 would make sleeping or camping on public land, unless expressly authorized for such purposes, a Class C misdemeanor, punishable by up to 60 days in jail or a $500 fine. Its goal is not to criminalize homelessness, author Cindy Caro. She crazy. I'm not going to. She said January 5th, 14th. Instead, it would reclaim public property.
No.
Okay, I'm not even. Okay, so this clown is the one. This is the same clown that said we shouldn't talk about, reproductive health and defunded the Kinzinger Institute over down at IU.
Kinsey. Yeah.
The Kinsey Institute, because we don't want to understand how biology really works, right? We don't want to do that because it's only one male and one female, and that's it. Because that's what the Bible says. It's it. Any more scientific evidence to prove otherwise, we're not going to talk about it. So this is the same chick. This is the same chick.
Let's be honest. We're just a bad day away from being the Handmaid's Tale. So it would be two women and one male then. So.
Right. Oh, good one, Carrie. I think the point of this whole thing too is, so when you criminalize this, now you've given a Class C. Oh, so that's like that's a really easy thing. So you're going to force someone who has no resources, has no address you can mail this letter to tell them that they have to appear in court. They probably don't have a phone, anything like that. They have zero resources. They're living on the street and they have a court date. They have no legal help in any way. And now if you find them or put them in jail, what did you accomplish with that too? That still didn't help them get off the street. Yeah. You've never solved that problem. And then let's start in DC as well as the State House, and we're taking money away from any mental health or any veteran support or any needs that might be helped with some money from these entities to try and get this homelessness under control. It's an attack on Indianapolis because they're really focusing, this article is obviously, as you read, Marion County. It's more prevalent there, but it's also going on in South Bend. It's in Evansville. It's in Fort Wayne here. We've got them all over. It's not a new thing, but we're not putting any fixes in place for it. We're just trying to criminalize it. Makes sense. It doesn't make sense.
Well, and they tried to introduce an ordinance like this at City Council a few years back, about 5 years back, where they wanted to criminalize, homelessness. But here's the criminal thing. The thing that should be criminalized is the fact that as a society, we have homeless people.
Right. Without any recourse or resource to help them in any way. That's why they're still homeless.
The richest nation in the world. Richest nation in the world, supposedly. We're monetarily rich. We are morally bankrupt.
Well, I mean, it all started when we turned our jails into drug treatment centers and mental health facilities.
And they're wholly unprepared for that too.
No.
And so it's just a churn and burn, get them in, get them back out. And then they're worse off because now they have a record
Mhm.
and they don't have the help. They don't have the mental health help. They don't have the substance abuse help. And we're going to make sure that we're going to throw them in jail. We're going to get them out of the public eye so people can't see our public failure.
Yeah.
That's the key to it, right?
And then how many of those folks are actually veterans? Like,
too many to talk about. Absolutely. That's the forgotten scene. People just pretend it doesn't exist. But again, it goes back to the private prison system isn't helping any of this because we're feeding them. The last place we're paying for it as taxpayers is the county level. After that, it goes out the window. Those private companies that are running these prisons here, they have a ratio of beds and bodies in beds that they in cells that they have to have. And the state's working their butts off to make sure they can get them there for them.
You know, if we keep building the jails, we have to keep filling them.
Oh God, yes. You got to have heads in the beds. Got to have it. And what's crazy is I listened to the State of the State. I was going to go live last night. But
you were the one, weren't you?
I was the one.
One of two people.
Yeah. I
watched it.
And I was going to live stream. Then I just didn't. I was like, he ain't worth me putting him on my platform. So
Thank you. Thank you.
I just didn't do it. But I listened to him talk about, you know, how the healthcare costs are high in Indiana. And he claimed to tackle the property tax issue and keeping more money in Hoosiers' pockets. But he didn't talk about how municipalities, the money that you thought you were going to have in your pocket, the municipalities had to raise your taxes to cover the loss of revenue for the municipalities. Like, and this is the same thing. You're gonna find people $500 who have no money. Have no money. Now, apparently there's some caveats in there about, you know, first offenders, you get a slap on the wrist. But if you're a repeat offender, they're homeless. They're going to be a repeat offender.
That's correct.
It's very expensive to be poor today.
Oh my, but they're homeless. Like, what? Okay, so you catch me on Tuesday, and Thursday I'm gonna have a place to live?
No.
Right. I'm going to piece this together. I'm not going to. No, I have no resources, period.
Bootstraps, baby. Bootstraps.
Rugged individualism. Let's go.
Well, you know, I love when people talk about that rugged individualism that built America, but that rugged individualism was actually owning people.
Correct. Thank you.
The whole goal of, you know, we built this nation, yes, with free freaking labor.
On the backs of slaves. Like, you can't say that. You can't even teach that in schools.
People are offended by the fact
DEI,
that...
we need to stop. It's
DEI.
DEI.
My God, Mom Donnie damn near broke some of them maggots. He damn near broke them.
He's doing it on the daily right now. Every speech he gives, he's killing them.
Oh, my God. I love that dude. Like, you know, I feel what he's talking about. Am I a democratic socialist? No. Right. I am a progressive. I am definitely a Democrat. But I think the socialism goes a little different for me. But I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it so that every person has an opportunity to exist and live in peace and dignity and all of that. So I can't argue that point. But the magazines, he drove them crazy, and he was talking about, we're going to get rid of that. We're going to talk about how we work together. We could do something about this homelessness if we work together. We could do something about the fact that they are taking over IPS and removing our ability to vote for our IPS school board.
Right.
Like, if we work together, they don't want us to work together. And they have figured out how to divide us.
Right.
Us as Democrats can't even work together right now.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at Indiana Democrats, you got one faction that has a litmus test, and God forbid you don't check every box. And I'm just amazed at a group of Democrats that have never won a thing in their life outside of Indianapolis, Bloomington, or any of the 5 Democratic South strongholds in Indiana, want to dictate to people how it should be. You can't take corporate money. You can't take big money. If progressive candidates, grassroots progressive candidates with no money was the answer, we'd have a state house full of them right now.
Right.
Full of them. I'll tell you.
Because we all are. I was a grassroots progressive candidate when I ran for Congress. But Gary, I didn't take corporate money. I didn't take PAC money. You know why? Because no one offered it.
Right.
Same thing. When I ran, didn't nobody offer me no damn money.
Gary and I had this conversation on more than one occasion. He goes, "What's wrong?" I said, "Gary, I don't know, but they don't like you. I don't know why they're not giving you money, because they don't like you."
I know that we want to live in this, as Democrats, in this pie in the sky, that we can do this without money.
No.
Why do you think they passed Citizens United? They did it to eliminate the grassroots. But here's the deal, though. How to raise money and how to build a coalition, it's out there. It's out there. It's out there for the taking.
It can be done.
People refuse to see outside of their illusion of what it is to win an election. I'm principled and I'm moral and I believe in this thing, but I only raised $500 for Congress. What?
Right. Yeah. $500. But that buys you a handful of signs at best.
Not even.
I've had several people tell me this that have been guests on my show. Tom McDermott was probably the first. Joe Walsh said it. Beto O'Rourke said it, and to a certain extent, Andy Bashir. Do you want to be right or do you want to win?
Yeah.
They want to be right.
Your job as a candidate is to win, because you can have the best ideas, and a lot of our candidates do. They don't have the money to get it out there, but they have a lot of the great ideas. But until you win, it's just a hobby.
And what they don't understand is it's not just that you're raising the money to put the money in your bank so that you can spend it later. It shows that you have support, that you have a following, that you have enough people willing to work with you and stand with you, that you're putting it. That's what Mamdani did. It wasn't just a Muslim thing. It wasn't just a people of color thing. He built a coalition of people, and not just in New York City. This idea that you can't take money from people outside of Indiana, stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Right. Because it doesn't fly. It doesn't. In the end, we end up losing, and then you look back and say, "Well, let's review what we did this last year. We didn't take any money from out of state, and you lost."
Like, I don't get this. Like, literally, digital fundraising, Act Blue. I think y'all know somebody that work at Act Blue.
Sure.
I think everybody listening knows somebody.
Right.
When I ran for Congress, I raised about $75,000.
Oh, that ain't enough.
No, it wasn't. But every single dime of it was people. I had some out of state money. I had people that I had about 3 or 4 people that threw in the maximum from all over the country, California, and hell yeah, I took it.
Heck yeah.
Right.
Why wouldn't you?
Exactly.
It's not that you were desperate, but you did need the help. Absolutely.
But think about it. If Indiana has some of the lowest wages in the country, you can only tap so much out of people. So you figure we got 6 million Hoosiers, maybe a little more than a third are registered Democrats. And of that, how many can actually afford to max out on I can't afford to max out, and I work every day plus side hustles. And
on a state candidacy, you can't max out.
You can't. But the point is like, you can only, there's the donor well is only so big, right?
It's real shallow.
The donor class. And there is a donor class, right? To even be considered a viable candidate for the DCCC, you have to reach a $250,000 threshold at a certain point before they even say, okay, we got you, right? Because you have to show that you are willing to do the work for yourself before I invest any of my time and resources into you. Because if you're not going to do it, why should I do it? Right. And that's the part that people ain't getting. It's not that you don't want to take the money or like you can pick and choose corporate money that you want to take, because some corporate money is good money. There's some corporations out there that are literally good global citizens. why wouldn't you solicit them? Why wouldn't you? There are green companies who believe in green technology, who believe in that the future of America is green. Why wouldn't
and
you
would
take
support
their
you?
money?
Yeah.
But y'all done
Yeah.
blanket said I ain't taking no corporate money. Huh? Now, all money ain't good money. I dig that.
Again, the reason most of these candidates do not take corporate or PAC money is because it was never offered.
Yeah, real talk.
So it's easy to say that.
Yeah, I was never offered any of that money either. In fact, I actually appreciated how honest the party was with me when I ran. Party said, okay, because I ran against Brian Bosman, right? I ran against the Speaker of the House. And I did all of the unwritten rules stuff about go and talk to this chair, talk to that person, talk to that person. And I actually appreciated when they said, okay, do your thing, but we're not finna support you.
We can't help you.
Right. I was cool with that because actually I was like, all right, cool. Y'all won't get in my way.
When I ran for state senate against Andy Zay, we had that story about him for 6 months before it got out. And I get a phone call the Friday, I'm driving back. I just dropped my daughter off at St. Mary's College. So I'm driving home from South Bend. I get a phone call from the Democrat caucus. I'm not going to name names. And earlier that day, Ed Feigenbaum had come out in his newsletter and said, this was one of the races to watch. This is the Friday before the election. All the early voting's almost done. And I get a phone call, and that phone call says, Gary, could you use $500? 4 days before the election.
What was the wait? Why did we wait?
I do know of an instance where, now, mind you, this was a municipal race. So Veronica Pedrell was running for city council, county council.
That was county council.
County council down south where DePaul University is. And she reached out to Stonewall like a couple weeks out. And she knew but see, the thing is, she knew exactly what she needed. And she asked for exactly what she needed. She was like, hey, I know you guys, thank you for the endorsement, but this is what I need. Like she knew, but a lot of folks don't even know what they need. And we're not, and so we're not.
And she ran for state rep too, or state senate, one of them. And
she ran for state senate.
I'm guessing that help was not there.
No.
Because we helped her a lot. We helped her a lot. We were sending out emails for, we were helping her probably more than any party apparatus did.
Yeah. The other thing though, I think it's, and I'm telling y'all now, I'm working with Dana and the state party because I have a comprehensive candidate training. This is not a 2-hour training. This is like bring your lunch kind of training.
8-hour,
right?
yeah.
Because I always tell people, bring whatever gift you have to the movement. Well, my gift is talking and training. And so like I told Dana, I said, this is my volunteer for the party. And so when you look at a campaign and all the pieces to the campaign, fundraising is one aspect of it, but there's so much more that I see people missing out on. So, friends of Michael Potter, he always, I love that he comes on my show and he watches. Okay. So I ain't going to diss him because Blythe Potter is one of my favorite people. I'm not endorsing. I cannot endorse. Right.
But we have two great candidates there. We really do.
Yeah.
Yes.
But there seems to be like something in his thought process whenever I come on the show that, he feels like there are a lot of people feel like they can go against the grain or go against what's proven as success to win, but they don't win. Like there is a method to how to win campaigns. Hillary Clinton would have been an incredible president. She was better. She would have been a better elected official in the office. She wasn't a very good candidate. And she missed opportunities. Yeah, I know the MAGA thing was on the whatever, but there were things that she missed. There were things that the campaign missed. And I'm not going to do the Kamala thing because she had 100 days. Totally different, right? Yeah. But Hillary, when she didn't go to Wisconsin, And she didn't go to Michigan, and she didn't hit the Rust Belt like she should have. And she lost all of those states. What was going on her team for them to miss? You got to go talk to these union folks. You got to go.
Right.
Like, it's more than just a message. A message is cool, but it don't matter if don't nobody hear it. You don't have enough money to get the digital ads. You don't have enough money to run paid media. You don't have enough money. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of those candidates, at least in the Indiana primary in 2016, one of those candidates came on the Gary Snyder show. One did not. One didn't even get a phone call back.
Wow.
One candidate advertised on the Gary Snyder show in Indiana Talks, which is now Snyder Report Radio. One did not. And I'm not saying that that's the reason that person won Indiana.
Right.
But that's the reason they won Indiana, because they were willing to go talk to almost anyone and go anywhere to get those votes. And that's why Bernie Sanders beat her in Indiana.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And if you think about it, Bernie was also a populist.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we want, as Democrats, we want to condemn Trump for being a populist, but so was Bernie Sanders. And there's something to that. And then and we do have. First of all, y'all know I'm never gonna bash my party, because I recognize that I am either a Democrat or I am the party of people who want to silence the marginalized communities.
Right.
Right. And I can't be about that.
No.
And I also recognize that I love Nicole, and we've been together for 7 years. She's beautiful. She's smart, but we don't agree on everything.
That's life.
Why do people expect to think that they're going to have to, you have to agree with 100% on your elected officials? I need them to rock with me about 75 to 80%.
Right.
My wife was the Libertarian candidate for Congress in the 3rd District in 2016. Imagine how those evenings went.
Right? Like, I need, so I am putting on, like, I tell people to get these trainings. I'm going to put the trainings on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to keep telling you what you should go do. I'm going to put it in front of you.
And your commitment level to that, to set it up, to get it ready, to put it together, to put the PowerPoint, however you're doing it.
Got all that.
I know. Because of your commitment to it, that's what's helping. There's a dollar value to that people don't really ever give you credit for. Thank you very much.
Well, there is a value in it, and I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
I selfishly help people because it makes me feel good.
There's nothing wrong with that. That's you.
Because I feel ooey gooey inside when I've been able to help somebody get to the next thing.
That's why we love you.
We do the same thing. If I reach out to a candidate and say, hey, we can put you in front of our 125,000 subscribers on a daily basis. And then we'll even send out an email, a direct fundraising email to those subscribers. And you're hitting all of the big donors. You're hitting the grassroots donors. You're hitting the grassroots activists. Well, I really can't afford it. Well, what can you afford? And we will get you on, because we don't want you to not be successful because you don't have the money.
Exactly. And see, that's the other thing. Like, it's building those relationships. One of the joys that I have is that I have relationships with people in all 9 districts. Mm-hmm. I can go to any district, any congressional district in the state of Indiana and rally somebody because I've taken the time to build those relationships.
That's right.
And the other thing is, I piss people off because I don't like to call people out. Or I don't like to, I'm not into dissing people. I may diss a policy. Now, Michael Beckwith deserves to be dissed, right?
Yeah.
He's a clown. He deserves to be dissed. But
he's the poster child of the mediocre white males.
Oh,
yes,
God, yeah.
Thank you.
Another 5'4"
Go ahead.
dude.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But the thing is like, I don't understand the notion of I'm going to shit on everybody that I don't like, but I'm also going to ask people to get involved. How does that work?
Horribly.
How does that
Doesn't work. Yeah.
I don't get that. Like, but humans are gonna human, and people have their own personalities. I let y'all go off and do what you do. We had a slew of announcements here at Indy. JD Ford is running in the 5th. and Vop Osili has announced that he's running for mayor. And I'm watching like Democrats just piss on other Democrats. Well, if for the casual non-insider who's not a political, why would you want to get down with that? Like, you don't have to like them. You don't have to like them. But what good does it do us as a party? I need somebody to help me understand, how do we win when we shit on each other? I need to understand how we win that way.
There's no climbing out of that pile either. The unfortunate part is, I think these people have this pie in the sky thing that something magical will happen because they saw what ground game was brought to the state in 2008 with the Obama campaign and somehow think that's how we're going to do it. And there is no support for anything like that.
No, well,
and unfortunately, one of the top races that we're going to have this year is the Secretary of State's race. And the amount of people I see that have this litmus test. Well, he didn't live here his whole life. Well, no, because his dad was a U.S. senator, and he's taking outside money. Okay, I want both candidates. I don't care who wins. I'm not going to endorse because they both gave me money. But I'm not going to endorse. But whoever wins that, I want them to have the most support and the most money possible to beat Tippy Toes.
Yeah.
Period.
But here's the thing. We're not even sure he's going to be on the ballot.
Correct. Good
So
call.
when these campaigns are putting together their Secretary of Race campaigns, they shouldn't even say Diego Morales' name, because Republicans might be so sick of him that he don't end up on the ballot. Now what? Now you have to pivot from your whole messaging being about the corruption of Morales versus, why don't you just stick to what it is that you want to bring to the Secretary of State's office? That's the thing. Like, they are, and I've seen both candidates do this, and I'm not, whoever's, they both need to recognize Diego Morales may not be on the ballot. Remember, y'all remember Curtis Hill?
Yeah.
Curtis Hill got more votes in 2016 in Indiana than Donald Trump did. Was he on the ballot 4 years later? No. We got raggedy ass Todd Rokita.
Jonathan Winesapple, he campaigned against Curtis Hill, and man, when Curtis Hill was not on the ballot, you would have thought that you could just see that campaign slowly deflate.
Yeah. So I just need, like, I get the corruption, the things that but even some of the Republicans are like, yo, we gonna change the ethics rules so you can't go to India. Right? Like, look at what's been happening. Literally, because they have control of all three branches of our state house, right? And they have super majorities in both. When they saw what Morales did, they changed the rules. They didn't like it. So you're going to fight against a thing that might not be there. Look at all of it. That's all I'm saying.
I think he'll be there. I don't know if he will or not. I don't know. I'm not convinced he will. I'm making a prediction, and keep in mind my prediction of the Colts winning the Super Bowl this year. but I talked to enough Republicans that are connected.
Okay.
Right.
And he'll
They're just going to go with a name. Like, it's got to be
he'll be the nominee.
Interesting.
Period.
Okay.
He'll be it.
I listen, I don't dispute it. I just said he might not be.
Remember that as the Colts are raising the Lombardi Trophy here in a couple of weeks.
In a couple of years?
Couple
weeks. That's not,
Good one, Dana.
That was an epic fall. But so, all right, you know what? I want to make sure that I leave space because, again, one of the joys of having these friendships and these camaraderies that we have with My Labor Radio, Turn Left, and the Snyder Report is that, we value what each other brings to the movement. I will never forget when somebody was saying that we needed a left-leaning media outlet. And I'm like, we got one.
Right.
Gary Snyder got a whole radio station.
We started that in 2013, and we still get a lot of listeners a day.
So talk about, and I'm going to start with My Labor Radio first.
Okay.
What is, in 2026, we have these elections coming up.
Yep.
But what is My Labor Radio seeing as things that they will cover on your podcast over the next year, or you know?
Yeah. So for me, I still go back to the same thing I always do every day, that corporate crime fighting never takes a day off. Let's get to work. And so to that end, I want to make sure that we have working class values in the hands of the people who are running. And so I want to make sure that that's part of their vernacular and it's part of their speeches when they take the mic. My big thing is talking to candidates first, get that out there, make a show about them. I'm just offering this. This is a free thing to them if they want to come to me. And I have many of them have come to me and we're talking. I got a bunch of things set up. At the same time, I'm still interviewing like a pipe fitter from Parkersburg, West Virginia, or someone from New York City who's doing a whole program about teaching young girls how important it is to learn a trade, if that's something you're really into, to be a sheet metal worker, a pipe fitter, a plumber, or an IBEW member. Whatever it is, we want to make sure that working class values and working class people and Hoosiers have their voice heard. I'm going to continue doing that. We've now turned it into a weekly, and I've got a huge list of folks laid out right now. In fact, I'm booked right now into late February now with guests set up. It's a weekly thing and just bang, bang, bang. Once you do something right, it comes back to you. And I've really been lucky. Gary's been a big help to me. Dana Black, you've been a big help. I remember the first time I met you, I was at Labor Fest in Indianapolis. She walks up, she goes, "What? There's a microphone? Let's talk." It was an hour and a half. We just sat there and shot the crap for that whole time. But it was a great thing because it built to where we are today. I didn't just start this thing. This happened in 16 when I started it. In 18, I made a podcast, and here we are doing a weekly. It's fantastic. Growth is good. We're going to continue doing it. And we're going to talk about working families, Hoosier values, and damn it, union labor.
All right,
and
guys,
4 to 5 every weekday on Snyder Report Radio.
I love it. Guys, follow My Labor Radio. I know he's on all the socials. Make sure
I'm here.
And he's got the best voice in the business. Oh my God. Just
Dana
silky.
Black said that from day one. She put the headphones on when we're talking. She's like, "This sounds filthy. I like it."
Gary, what is the Snyder Report working on this year?
We are working on, number one, our newsletter, growing our newsletter subscriptions. 5 years ago, with the help of Robin Winston, we sent out our first email with 147 subscribers. Today, we send out over 125,000 emails daily. 95% of them in Indiana. People in Michigan are starting to catch on. Yep. And so that's our number one thing. We also have the Snyder Report podcast. We got that up and running from my radio days. And we try to bring on guests that you want to hear from. Your Joe Walsh's, your Andy Brashears, we had Rob Kendall on. A lot of people don't like him, but very entertaining, whether you agree with him or not.
Beto O'Rourke was a great
Beto O'Rourke, Colin Allred. We have Abdul, I think I'm saying this right, El Sayed, U.S. candidate, Senate candidate from Michigan coming on. Okay. Blythe Potter's coming on here in the next couple of weeks. We've had Bo by, we've had Evan by, we've had Joe Donnelly, we've had
McDermott,
Tom McDermott. We've had comedians, Trey Crowder. So we like to bring people on, talk to them for about 20 to 30 minutes, and get their take on what's happening, and so we continue, and we try to be entertaining. Yep. Snyder Report, it's a double meaning. I have to explain to that people sometimes. It is a very snide podcast. John Fugelsang, one of my favorite guests of all time. He's even on his XM's radio now. He'll every once in a while you'll hear him say, "Stay snide."
I love it. I love it.
And then finally we have formerly it used to be Indiana Talks. Now it's Snyder Radio, Snyder Report Radio. And, we offer syndicated shows. Stephanie Miller, Democracy Now!, Tom Hartman, Leslie Marshall. You can go down the line. And then we also have Hoosier personalities, maybe personalities that don't get that opportunity or would not have that opportunity to be on the radio. And so we have myself, we have Dana, we have we have Mark, we have Project Next, Sarah and Tim Peck, I think it is, Dr. Tim Peck. They do a great show.
I'm connecting with them pretty soon too as well.
So, it's, my goal is pretty simple, and that's to own the media in Indiana. And we're well on our way.
I love that. But in your desire to own it, you haven't lost track of those of us who are just working because we just love to do the work. Right?
Exactly.
AdBlue pays me. So I do this because it fills my heart. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm not going to lie. I get paid.
Yeah. And that's cool. But like, if this was if I had to do this for my job, I don't know if it would, I would be fulfilled. The hustle is different though. The grind is different.
But we try to help candidates too, because I've been that candidate that didn't have money.
Yes, you did.
More than once. I've been on TV. We were, during my congressional campaign, we were lucky enough to get on TV the last 10 days. But I've run campaigns where I have not had the money. So I have no problem when I talk to a candidate and they say, well, I don't have the money. Well, what can you do?
Yeah.
What can you do?
Create the option.
I'm not going to make you pay the same amount as I made Bernie Sanders pay.
Right. Right.
I'm not going to make you, if you are a grassroots candidate that has no money, we're here to help you too.
Right.
Yeah.
You could relate.
So just to kind of give you guys an idea of what we're doing with Turn Left this year. So, and I'm glad I'm sharing this because again, I every time I finish a show, once I finish editing it, I load it up on Snyder Report Radio now. Every Thursday I upload it, so it's always there. But you guys know my goal is to highlight candidates. And it's always the down ballot candidate. So I am currently booked out with 2 candidates every week until the end of April.
Yeah.
I have 2 candidates there. There's a couple weeks that I won't have shows because I will be on. I'm working, right? ActBlue does what it does. But up until April, I am booked out with 2 candidates on Turn Left.
Great.
Because we have we have a huge number of congressional candidates running in the primary. I knew that there was no possible way I could get all those folks on. So what I did was, as the filing opened up and I saw who was running, I sent an email to every candidate who had a primary in their congressional district. So there's like 5 of them in 5. There's like 6 and 9. I sent them all an email with my calendar, and they could select a slot, and I'm going to record them. They won't be on the live show, but we're going to record a half an hour interview with every candidate, and I'll piece them together and drop them out. They'll be up on the Snyder Report. You can put them, slot them in how you feel like you need to slot them in. But the goal is, one, I didn't want anybody to feel like I wasn't being fair. And I even told them in the email, for transparency and fairness, I have blind copy everybody that's in the primary, right?
Nice.
So that you all are getting the information at the same time. But I want these candidates to tell their story, because even if they don't come out of the primary, maybe they do something else.
Yeah.
Right. And the goal is to like a lot of candidates won't even get a live interview. Right. Or they won't get any interview
with anyone.
Anyone. And what if they win and they didn't get an interview? Then but their first interview is what? They're not prepped. You know what I'm saying? You got to give them. So Turn Left. And then, of course, after the primary, I'm still going to have candidates on. That's when I try to get the folks who are at the State House right now, who are going to be running for reelection, who, they're busy right now. Right. They're a little busy. Yeah. So Turn Left is back. And we're doing the podcast, so I'm on Spotify and iTunes. I still have the YouTube. Oh, the other thing, I'm so, I guess this is a proud mama moment. We launched Next Gen In. Next Gen In podcast is under 30 folk talking to under 30 folk about Indiana politics.
Oh, right? Hell yeah.
It's
nice.
I'm not even front facing on this. I'm just the producer on it. And this is to give these young folks an opportunity to do this. If they have a desire. Now, here's the deal. They got to go out and get the story. They got to, collaborate with each other to make the show happen. My job is you give me the stuff, I put it together and put it out.
That's priceless, though.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
But the goal is eventually people going to get tired of listening to me. They're going to be so sick of my voice. And we got to make sure that we have the next set of voices ready to go.
Right.
Because we're
Mentor.
all Xers.
We're counting the days. Be a mentor. Yes.
Yeah. Leave the ladder down. That's
I
what
get called a boomer.
Who's a boomer? Really?
I'm not. I'm a Gen Xer, but
Yeah.
if you ask my wife or my kids, I'm a boomer.
So,
Hey,
guys, this is when you don't want to listen to me and you want to hear the smooth, silky sounds of Mark Gevaart, or you want to hear the sarcasm from the Snyder report.
Right on.
There's other places to get this information.
Right.
And as I said in the post, there is enough sun for all of us to shine. Because one thing is for certain, whereas my voice may not be the voice that resonates, one of these two might. Mm-hmm. And we've got to, we just finished talking about Democrats working together. This is what it looks like. We all have our own platforms. We're all vying for your attention. We all need your attention, right? But it doesn't mean that we can't elevate each other.
Right.
And
that's why we're working together tonight.
Exactly. And that's what it was all about. And so,
I thought we were getting paid.
No. Turn left, don't pay nobody.
Same payment you got from Dana last time you talked with her.
I'm going to give you double. You're going to get double.
Wait.
But listen, it's all about this thing. Now is the time. Like they're scared.
Yeah.
So they need to see what it looks like to not be scared. Mm-hmm. They don't know what to do with themselves. We got to show them this is what you do. There's ways to do something with that energy that you have. There's candidates that need help. We know what we're doing, so allow us to help you. Right?
Yeah, you will be a better electorate when you follow some folks who can help you understand who's running in your area.
Yeah. We're not trying to belittle you. We're trying to uplift you. Mm-hmm. But we also going to tell you the truth. You need at least $2 million to be competitive in a congressional campaign. Man, I just need y'all to understand that.
That's a real deal number.
Yeah, as someone who's run for Congress against the worst person ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Right.
Ever. But you need it. You cannot be competitive in a congressional campaign without $2 million. You can wish and pray and all the things about your message and all the things, but you need $2 million to be competitive, especially in a ruby red district.
Yes.
It's just it's the truth. It's the facts. It's the facts.
Right.
Right. It's like I know I have to go to the dentist every 6 months if I want to keep my teeth in my mouth. It's the facts.
Time for your next cleaning.
It is. It's next week.
Right.
It was a reminder.
Mine are still there. They're not as straight as they used to be.
Mine, I got gaps all over the place.
Me too.
Golly, I don't care. I'm gonna keep on smiling, guys. Give it a parting shot. Give the folks something positive to take away from the night.
I would say first off, you are in charge. You're listening to this. You've watched this. You've listened to us. You have more control than you realize you have. You are already being felt. Your presence is important. You make a difference. Thank you for who you are. You are going to vote, check your registration, make sure you're involved, and get your information so you know who you're voting for.
Seriously, how am I supposed to go after that fucking TED Talk?
Keep it tight. Keep it tight.
Keep it classy, Snyder.
I just set you up. Swing.
I got nothing.
I got nothing. Swing for the fence.
Just listen to your stuff, right? Just keep listening.
Go, Gary. That's why I jumped first.
Listen to Mark.
There you go.
Thank you.
There you go. There you go. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me on Turn Left. Oh my God, y'all are killer. Y'all are killer. Y'all are killer. Listen, Indiana's own Dana Black. This is what we do. Sorry for the glitch earlier today, but it happens. And we still ended up with an hour show that was dynamic with amazing personalities. There's an opportunity for you to get involved. We'll be sending you out information about that training. I told you it's coming. I believe in it. I want y'all to have that. Next week, we're going to start with our candidates. I wanted the first first two shows to kind of set the level set for 2026 with the facts and figures with Michelle and Mary. And now you had some personality, so you can follow those folks just like you follow me, and we can share each other's content. I love that. But in the meantime, get ready, because from here into the primary, you will definitely be inundated with candidates. So you can find out who they are, and if they speak to your values, you will know how to donate to them and support their campaign. All right? Indiana's own Dana Black, turn left. You know what I'm about. Let's get these candidates elected. Get yourself registered to vote. Let's go out here and do this. In the meantime, I'll holler at y'all later. Peace. Turn Left is the property of Black Pearl IT Solutions, executive producer, Indiana's own Dana Black. Music by Dorian and 22 from Pixabay.